Boom! Guys, welcome to another live stream. It's been a little while, but in this live stream, most of you guys are going to be a replay. We're going to be fixing my Traxxas X-Maxx A test. Last time I took it out, we took it to like the skate park. We did a massive vertical jump, and that happened. So, we're going to be fixing it live. Also, I've got my iPad here. So if any of you guys have got any comments, and fire away, and I will try and get to some of them. I can't do them all. So what I know is broken already is obviously the chassis. If any of you guys in the comments can add all these parts together and give me a note in the comments how much all this stuff costs, then that would be amazing, because I was too lazy to do it. But anyway, we've got a brand new chassis, because obviously that is broken. So we've got the skid plate that goes underneath. That is broken as well. There's a part number for that. The upper chassis plate thing, whatever this thing's called, that is broken. Got a broken diff cup. And I've also killed the speed controller. So there's a diff in there, look, hanging out. So as this came apart, it ripped these wires out of the speed controller. And if you look at the middle one, the little pot thing's gone. I've actually lost it, it's gone. So you can sometimes solder them back in. I've done it before and it's worked. Then you can save the speed controller. So I have got another ESC here, which I think is dead. So if this one is dead, I'm going to try and take one of these pots out of this one and then put it into that one. But anyway, we might do that in this video if we've got time. I've got a couple of hours, and if I don't get it done by then we'll carry on maybe tomorrow or something like that. So far, that's the only damage I can see. So I don't think that's really too expensive considering the amount of abuse we've given it, apart from the speed controller. But yeah, right. So hello everybody in the house. Let me know what you guys have been up to. Shove that down there. So start with first things first. I'm going to get all the wheels off to make it easier to work on. Get all this lot off of there. Let me know what you guys have been up to. Let me know in the comments what you've been doing. You've been working, been playing with RCs. What's been going on? What's been occurring? Someone says best upgrade for Armoratoria 6S. A chassis, I would say. Hinge pin blocks and chassis braces. That's the thing. Use your Hoss, please. Someone said, yeah, we will get the Hoss out again at some point. Zippy's been schooling. Noah's been at school. Cutler's been rebuilding his Obeo GT. Are you going to try out RC Aeroplane again? Yeah, I will do. Probably going to wait till the summer though. Weather's a bit sucky now here in the UK. It's going to be a bit more building weather. I'm thinking of getting a new kit to build. I don't really know what. Maybe a helicopter. So often people say to me, how do I know where the pieces go? Like where do all the screws go? So what I normally do is when I take a piece off, just get the screws, either put them in there loosely or just leave them laid next to it. And then that way, you're going to know where they go. I mean, I've done a few X-Maxes now, so I kind of know where most of them go, but even with that still, I still put them in these little trays here to keep them all separate. Ray goes, junk, plastic, Traxxas, China. Well, dude, what's stronger? If you get like the armour crate and this aluminium chassis, you bend it and it's more expensive. The chassis on this, $20. You want to buy a crate and chassis for like $120, whatever it is? It's going to bend on the first jump. So people always try and use that as an insult. Ah, cheap plastic junk. But in reality, Plastic cars, these are stronger. Right, I think first of all we're going to take the bulkheads off. So I think we should focus on one end first, it makes it easier. So we put the rear end away for now. We just do the front end first. I mean, sometimes metal's better in some places, you know, like metal shock bodies are better. But if you're bashing, I'd say definitely plastic chassis. You know, just because people don't like something, they go, oh, junk. But, you know, that's a little bit opinionated, a little bit thinking highly of yourself. You know, people often mistake their opinion and they think it's fact. But, you know, I've got over 100 RC cars. I've been bashing the living hell out of all of them. So, and in my experience, these plastic chassis have been a lot stronger than the metal chassis. Yeah, someone that hasn't got a clue comes along, cheap plastic junk, and he thinks just because that's his opinion, he thinks somehow that his opinion's worth more than, I don't know, the next person. But, you know, it's fine, you know, whatever puts the biggest smile on your face. If someone doesn't like plastic, then don't buy it, buy something else. Each their own. Now, this will be a part in a minute. We need more Mini-Max. Haha, yes, maybe. Kevin Talbot for president, sod that. Couldn't think of a worse job. I think you've got to be a bit of a psychopath to want to be a politician. Look at that, it's all ripped off. It's worth sometimes is to go around, loosen the screws first before you hit it with the Ugga because sometimes the Ugga does round them off. Do you have any snakes around where you live? Says King Savage. Yeah, you got grass snakes. I've only ever seen one though. I think they're pretty harmless. Oh, that was hot. Ouch. Would you ever build an RC version of Andy the Landy? Says David. I would if I could get a van body. I mean, you can get a TRX4 that's kind of like Andy, but... Right, that's that. But TRX4 is like the station wagon. I've got the van body on mine. So, alright, so I've lost this other drive shaft. When it pinged out, I forgot that I had this in there, and I thought that I snapped one of these in half, so I threw it away, I think. I can't find it anyway, wherever it's gone. So we're going to have to either put a stock one in there for now, or we'll just cut this one. I don't know, but this has been kind of falling to bits. So, I don't know. See, the idea of this is it's in two halves, the drive shaft. Brilliant idea. I kind of said to so many companies to do this, and eventually a few people did. So instead of a solid drive shaft, when the chassis flexes, it bends it. You've got like a little thing in the middle, so you've got a little bit of give. So as the chassis flexes, it kind of doesn't bend the shaft. And it's got a centre bearing, and that wedges in there. However, this does sometimes pop out of there. So I don't know if it matters, because it hasn't done anything in there, but I don't know, we'll see how we get on with that. Any luck finding a good spot for the Project 200? Yeah, well, we got Rosser, but that's only a couple of times a year, and that's like miles away, so it's not going to be something that I can do that often. Also, a racetrack has contacted me. I don't know if I can say who they are, so I'm not going to say. But they've got like an 800 metre long straight, I think they have, or 700 metres. It should be enough for speed running. So I've got another speed car build planned actually. So Rosser next year, I'm going to take 3 cars. All 3 of them, hopefully, got a chance to get the world record. But it's getting harder and harder because people keep breaking the world record, so it's making it harder for me. But, you know, I don't know if I'll ever get it. I mean, it's a bit of fun trying to get the record, isn't it? But if I ever will, who knows? Do I actually need to take that off? I mean, some people, they're like, they make it their life to get like the world record, you know. And if you dedicate your life to something, you're going to really struggle to compete with those sorts of people. You know, for example, you know, I do bashing, I like monster trucks, I like Land Rovers, I spend most of my time making YouTube videos. So, you know, to go up against someone that dedicates their life to speed running, it's going to be really, really difficult to compete. But I'm still going to give it a shot. You know, I do like the speed running, but not enough to dedicate my life to it. Right, so you've got to take the screw out of there. Is there a set upload schedule? No, there isn't, Cheeseburger. Not at all. A lot of people, they get burnt out from YouTube. And if you push yourself to get videos out, when you don't feel up to it, it's going to lead to burnout. So I only make videos when I feel like doing them. I never force myself to push a video out if I don't feel like it. That's why sometimes you might get a week or two with no videos, and other times you get a video every couple of days. And not only that, you know, I sort of work on a lot of RC cars at the same time, a lot of projects. So on my whiteboard here at the minute, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so I've got 17 videos on the go that I'm working on. And you know, sometimes I'll do a bit of that video, then a bit of that video, then a bit of that video. And then eventually I'll get the video finished. And then, you know, it might be like a bus stop where like, no bus comes. And then you get like 3 or 4 that turn up at once. And that's probably a bit like my videos as well. You might get a couple of weeks where there's nothing. Well, I'm working on videos, but there's nothing's finished yet. You know, I'm waiting on parts, or I'm waiting for weather, or I'm waiting on someone or something. So that's kind of how I make my videos. I know a lot of people, they just work on one video, get that video done, and then come out with the next video. So everyone does it differently, really. That's just the way that I do it. Because often if you've got to wait for parts, obviously you can't finish that video. So rather than just stop and do nothing, I'll just start another video. Basham goes, damn, I thought 3 was overwhelming. I do write notes about each one, so I do know where I'm at and everything. So it's alright. You know, I quite like it like that, because, you know, I might be working on this one day for a video, and I think, oh, you know what, I'm fed up with this. And I might fancy having a little work on the laminator, so I might pull that out, do a bit of work on that, then start a different video, then maybe I've got an unboxing to do. So I like to mix it up a little bit to keep it interesting for me as well. And you know, RC is supposed to be fun. So whenever I get fed up with something, I'll stop and then do something else. Oh no. Oh no. The Dumbo receiver opened up. Oh no. Version 1 Creighton 4S shock upgrades. I think some of the 6S shocks fit. I don't know what ones though. I've not done it myself. Or you can get hot racing ones. They're pretty good. Mark from Australia. Hello, dude. Oh, it'll close again though. I've run out of these Dumbo receivers. I need to get some more. I normally get 10 at a time. I put the Dumbo into like most of my cars. Kev, will you be at Fam Jam this year? Yes. LMT Game Over stickers. Yes. I should get on the case for that. Jason from Texas, hello dude. How is Razzy's servo in the X-Maxx? Good. I've not broken any of Razzy's servos yet. They've all worked perfectly. But this one here, this one's not a Raz servo. This one's a AGF I got in this one. I've got Razzie servo in yellow X-Maxx with a big motor. So I still like to try different stuff, you know. So far, I think all round, Razzie servo is my favourite, well, one of my favourites, I don't know really, but one of my favourite servos I've ever used. It's got loads of torque, it's fast enough, not the fastest, but fast enough for most things. I think all round, it's probably one of the best servos that I can think of. You can use it in crawlers, speed cars, bashers, big cars, little cars, you can kind of use it in everything. Oh, way around does that go on? Or does it not matter? But, you know, I still like to try other servos though as well. Otherwise you might not bump into a servo that's better if you keep using the same one. You know, some people, they're just brand loyal to, like, say, Armour, for example. And they'll never try it. They'll never try a Traxxas. Like Tomley, for example. Tomley's always like, Traxxas sucks, blah, blah, blah. And now he loves them. He won't admit it, but he does love them. He's always buying Traxxas now. He's got himself an XRT. He's got Traxxas crawlers. He loves them, doesn't he? He won't admit it, though. Right, that out of there. So on the new chassis, we have to cut a little piece out of there for the servo to fit in. Crawlers K from Nova Scotia. Hello, dude. Sonic from Oakland. Rasak says, how's the sledge? Broken. Sledge is broken. Just waiting for a new chassis to come. And then the sledge will be back in action. Man, that took a beating that day. What do you think of WL Toys and Andsman? Andsman I don't really know. I've not really had anything. But WL Toys, brilliant for a cheap car. Someone new to the hobby. Perfect. Really good. Even though you can't obviously compare it to like an X-Maxx. Oh, that's not going to come out of there. Out. Right, that's out. Right, so I think we should start putting pieces onto the new chassis so there's not too many bits kicking around. New chassis, or chassis for you Americans. Here in England we call it a chassis. Where's the 8S Minimax? I've got it on the shelf here behind me. Do you like Summit? Yes, although it would be nice if you could get some stronger diffs for them. Alright, I don't know what you guys think, but to me it feels like the Traxxas plastics are not as strong as they used to be. I mean, when I first had these X-Maxes, they barely ever broke, but they seem to be breaking more often. So I don't know if it's because I'm bashing harder, or if the plastics aren't as strong anymore. So I don't know, what do you guys reckon? I'm not really sure. Right, so that in there, but doesn't quite fit, look. See, servo hits on that part of the chassis. So we can just chop that piece out. So these pens here really look useful. Look, you've got these silver Sharpies. And I never even knew that they existed. I was always using these sort of white pens, which are also good, but they don't always work. You've got to shake them and mess about with them. Whereas for these, you just go, it just marks it straight on the plastic. Right, so we cut this piece out. Zedek says, no, Zachary, sorry, says, the X-Maxx bulkheads are too soft. Really? If they're too soft, then they would never break. If they break, they're probably too hard. Right, so I'm going to do a little choppage here. Another choppage on that side. And then get some pliers. Right, you guys, who of you have watched, have seen my last sledge video? Let me know in the comments, yes or no, have you seen my last sledge video? Hey, Lego's working on his X-Maxx. Hey, everyone's saying yes. Right, that in there. Where's the screws gone? There, we got them. Yeah, so everyone's seeing them, right. So you know I was on about, it's always difficult to get the shocks in the arm to spread it apart. I mean, on the X-Maxx is easy because they're a nice fit, but on some cars, like on the Sledge, it's really hard. But someone says get some spreading pliers. So I got these from Amazon, look. And when you squeeze, in all pliers you squeeze them and they close, but these ones you squeeze them and they open. And they've got this little clever little thing on the end here, look. I think they're supposed to be for circlips, really. So you can hook it in and you can spread stuff apart. So the next time I struggle, I'm going to give these a go. I got them from Amazon. I think they're, look, speed work or something. I think I put in spreading pliers or circlip pliers or something like that. I think these were the 7-inch ones or 8-inch ones. So I'll be trying them next. Winnie Superman bent the frame, yes. If you like Runaways, you're going to like the next 2 videos. Need these servos for e-Revo, yes. This servo in here has been working perfectly so far. I mean, a lot of people complain about the stock Traxxas servo. Some dude even gave me loads of hate. Oh, how dare you! You never told me about the Traxxas servo sucking. You made me waste my money. You're dishonest. Rah, 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 rah. Used all the swear words under the sun. Obviously, I hit the block button. But I can only share what experience I've had. He goes, my kids killed like 10 servos. How dare you? You're a fraud. You're a scam. You're working for these companies. You won't ever say when something goes wrong. It's like, what? I mean, he says he's watched my videos and bought an X-Maxx because of me. And then says that I don't show when things break. It's like, make your mind up, dude. But I can only share what my experience is or what I see with other people. And in my experience, stock X-Maxx servos, you know, they're not the most torquey and the fastest. I've not broken many. I've had X-Maxxes for 7 years, 6 or 7 years, and I've probably broken 2 or 3, which I don't think is bad. You know, so the person that's killed 10, he's probably done something wrong, I would assume. I mean, there must be a few lemons out there that just die straight away. But if you kill 10, maybe he's kept getting the bad batch, or maybe he's just doing something wrong. So yeah, he went straight on the block list. He can't comment anymore. All right, that's in there. Not going to bother putting this all back in yet because we need the ESC in there so we can plug all the receiver in. So we'll leave the receiver out for now. We've got that in. So next, we need to get these battery things on there. The hold down clamp things. Let's just get those in. Out with that. Hey, Ian in the house, how you doing? I tried calling you yesterday to see if you wanted to come out bashing, but you didn't answer. You missed a funny runaway. Right, we've got 2 different lengths here. I don't know if that's just my X-Maxx, all of them. No, it must just be me just not having the right screw. Right. So need more octane HBI. Yes, that video should be out soonish. I've edited it. I think it's 3rd in the queue. What do you think about TRX4M? It looks really good, but I haven't got it yet. Does your eBay course work in countries like Croatia? If you've got eBay there, then it'll work. If you can go on eBay and you can list items, then it'll work. I mean, the best markets are the bigger countries, obviously, but you've got more competition. So sometimes sometimes you actually have an advantage being in a smaller country. How did your channel grow? Just putting loads of videos out, I suppose, and really enjoying doing it and putting effort into editing the videos. But I kind of, most of the time, I just film what I fancy doing at the time. A lot of YouTubers, they'll look at what's trending and they'll look at what they think is going to get the most views. But I kind of, I don't know, most of the time I kind of do what I want to do. If I want to play with a laminator, I'll do a laminator video. So I think that's why I don't do that many bang goods anymore, because they are fun every now and then to do a cheapo and unbox it and see how good or bad it is. But I get more fun out of these bigger RCs. So I tend to do what gives me the most fun. Monster truck news. Yes, I'm getting my tyres back soon, and then I'm going to put the big wheels on, see if I can fit it in the workshop with the big wheels on, and then I can finish that video. Right, momentarily, I'm just going to get this end so that I can put all these battery clamps back on. Now this piece complete. Greetings from Netherlands. Hello, dude. What do you think of Pro 4 SC10? I have no idea what that is. Sorry, dude. Have you found a place yet? Yeah, I did, but the seller's messing around. And now the mortgage interest rates have gone crazy high. So, I know a lot of people think that the housing prices are going to come down loads this year, so I'm just going to wait now, I think. Save a little bit more. And hopefully not need a mortgage, or not as much of a mortgage. Hello from Minnesota. Hello, dude. Are you planning to get an RC drift car? Well, I've got a MS, whatever it is, MSI, whatever make it is. You guys in the comments. No, MST is it? Like a Lamborghini ready to run. So just got to take that out at some point. We can have a little blast with it here in the workshop, and then Vinny's got one as well, and then we're going to go to a drift club somewhere and just have a little blast. I'm not really into drifting, but I'm up for giving it a little go, just for a laugh. No, it goes RMS. Is it? No, it wasn't RMS. I swear it was MSI, or racing goes MST RMX. Oh, alright, yeah, probably that then. Oh, idiot. I've put that in, but I haven't put the battery clamp on. Right, so that goes in. Oh, that one's broken as well. Oh, I didn't know that was broken. I've probably got a spare upstairs. I'll get one on. I'll have to go upstairs and get another one. Boom, that in there. Have you had Lambo out? No, not much really in the last year. Because when I filled in the monster truck, it was kind of stuck behind it. And then when I put it in front of it, the weather got bad. I don't use it in the winter. Right, back in a sec. I've just got to get a battery clamp. Yeah, I don't really use Lambo enough. I mean, I should probably sell it. I mean, it is quite tempting just to sell it and put it towards a house. If it wouldn't have been for the tax man, I'd probably have enough for a house. The tax man comes along, you think you've saved enough money, it takes half your money, gone, boom. You got to start from square one again. But if a house came up at a good price, and selling the Lambo meant I could buy it without a mortgage, I probably would. And then just buy another one at some point. When's your next monster truck show? August is next one booked in. Right, there we go. Got them back in. Boom. I always like going in there afterwards and just do the screws up by hand. If you do it with the Ugger Dugger, then you run the risk of rounding out the screws. Lego's gotta go. Bye, dude. When are you going to raise Tomley? When he comes to the club. I think we have agreed on a date. But I don't really want to share the date. Because then we might get flooded with loads of people coming down. Right, that in there, that in there. Alex in the house, how you doing, dude? Next car, Hoonigan by Associated. Oh, I've got the Hoonigan truck thing. I didn't like it. Absolute waste of money. You're just paying for the brand name, aren't you? I mean, the price of that thing was just ridiculous, and it was like such an underperformer. You're literally just paying for the body shell. That's literally what you're paying for. So I was really disappointed with that one, especially for the price. It was half the price maybe, but not for the price what it was. Really slow, didn't drive nice, it was just horrible. That was a truck version, so I'm definitely not going to get the other one. Alex goes back to the X-Maxx. It broke in half, dude. So I'm putting a new chassis on. Right, that is that part done. Am I missing anything? We got the new top bit we've got to put on, but I think that'll be easier to put that on afterwards when the rest of it's all been done, I think. Maybe. Don't know. Right, put the rear end away again. I do like tanks. I'm not into them, dude. Not really my sort of thing. That's the thing with RC, there's so many different types. You know, get whatever makes you happy. Did the delivery turn up? Says here, no, next week. You ever come into the US for an event? I want to. I'd love to come to America with a monster truck one day. At the minute, I'm not allowed to go, but yeah, hopefully eventually I'll be allowed to go. Right, so next, I think this is only like chassis number 3 that's been on. I think, is it the third? I've broken. I think I've broken 3 X-Maxx chassis since I've started having X-Maxxes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, no, Ian. This week, sorry. This week is coming. Right, get in there. He's on about my monster truck tyres. That's what Ian's on about. They're coming this week, dude. Come on, get in there. You know that problem I had with the shock towers? Well, I've got the same problem here. Getting the steering linkage in. Exactly the same. It's always a faff. But with this top brace off, at least you can get your fingers in there. Oh man, this is a faff. What the hell? Zippy goes, have you heard of Ken Block's death? Dude, Everyone keeps talking about it. Obviously I have. I mean, who hasn't? At Vinny's workplace, they've almost turned it into a joke because everyone's gone, have you heard of getting blocked? It's like, yes. Right, get that in there. Right, that's in. I don't really like talking about people dying. You know, it's part of life. But I don't really like bringing it up and mentioning it. God knows how many people die every day. Probably thousands of people dying all over the world every day. And if you had to call all of them out all the time, oh, rest in peace this person, rest in peace that person. Like, the whole comment section would just be full of dead people, wouldn't it? No, I don't like talking about it. I don't do funerals. I don't do any of that. It's just, nah, not me. Right, next. Do these have to go in next? I think. What tyres are best for the X-Maxx? I like stock. Have you tried Wide Max? No, I haven't. I was going to. And I'm probably not going to bother now because I like it how it is, the X-Maxx. And I've got the XRT if I want something more stable. Yeah, the thing I like about the X-Maxx, partially, is its clumsiness. I like it. You can get it up on 2 wheels. You can like freestyle it on a skate park and it's nimble. When you make it wider, I've had a go on a wider one. Obviously they're more stable, but to me it kind of takes away from the X-Maxx experience. Will you do more videos next RT? Yes, I've got one planned. I'm just waiting for some upgrades to come. Got a few M2C goodies coming. Right, the nose in there. What do you mean not allowed? We Americans love you. Well, you still need the vaccine to go there, didn't you? I'm not taking it. No way. So, until they stop that, I can't go, can I? Do you own an RC Land Rover? I've got TRX4, but it's not an Land Rover anymore. Right, that is that in. So these are the ones that go in there. Now remember that for later. These were the ones that went in there, I believe. So that's for later. You can stick that back in. How much is perfect pass servo? I think it's about $130, I think. I've heard some comments, people say, I'm not paying that. But if it's more, if you know, you get what you pay for in this hobby. So if it's better performance and it lasts longer, then surely it's money well spent. When is HPI Savage Octane coming? The video for that should be, I don't know, probably, it's about third in the queue, I think. Soon. This week or next week. What servos do you run in X-Maxx? In this one I've got an AGF, in the other one of them I've got a stock one. No, in 2 of them I've got a stock one, and in the high powered one I've got one of the perfect pass servos. Right, what way does that go in? Is it that way? Won't put the lid back on till we know it all works. I'm 15, want to earn money. How does eBay work? You're not old enough, dude. You've got to be 18. Unless you can get your mum or dad or someone to set an account up for you. I mean, just to sell something on there is easy. You just hit on list item and then follow the instructions. If you want to turn it into a business, then you need to learn a few things to be profitable. I've seen a few people say, oh, Kev's eBay course, it's a scam. I mean, all he does is buys cheap and sells for high. I mean, yeah. It's like, well, obviously you buy it for cheap and sell it for high. It's like, obviously. But the trouble is, if you haven't got the knowledge of how to sell, then you could end up buying cheap, and then you've got to sell it for even cheaper. So if you know how to sell, well, I'm not going to put that on yet. If you don't know how to sell, then you've got to be the cheapest, and then you don't make any money. So, you know, you've got to learn how to sell. And that's what my eBay course is all about, is to teach people how to sell. If you don't know how to sell, your only tool in the toolbox is to be the cheapest. Then, of course, you're not going to make any money if you're being the cheapest. The goal is to be the most expensive and make sales. And that way, you make the most money, and you still make sales. Otherwise, you're just working your butt off. You're doing everything cheapest. Next guy goes cheaper. You go cheaper. Everyone goes cheaper, and nobody makes any money. So many people, they think that is how the only way to sell is to be cheapest. No, give a better service. Loads of things you can do. Right, I think we're done with this end. I think. I don't know why I took the screws out of there. One's missing, so let me get another one. Don't need anymore, 2 new ones. Did you hear about Carson RC? I've heard of them, but I've never had one. So I don't really know anything about them. Can you make it 4-wheel steering? I mean, someone has made an X-Maxx 4-wheel steering. It would be pretty good. Maybe I'll have a go bodging it up one day for a bit of fun, see what happens. The trouble is though, when you've got rear wheel steering, if it's not that strong, you can have it start kicking out when you're going along. Can you do comparison video between XRT and Sledge? Yeah, maybe. I used to do these sort of comparison videos, but I never get any views. You know, I could go through and I could do X-Maxx versus that versus that, that versus that. But normally, they don't get good views. Right, back in now. Rear end. What are best tyres for HPX Devastator? Best ones I've used are RC 4-wheel drive or whatever they are. If you have a look at my videos, see what they are. You'll see. Oh, I've forgotten what they're called. Right, put those screws in there for now. That's for that. That is part of that. That is part of that. How many X-Maxes do you have? I've got my original one. Let me quickly show you. So I've got my original X-Maxx there. That is if you go back on my channel, the first ever video was with that X-Maxx there. Different body though, but that X-Maxx. Then my next X-Maxx was this one. And the first body for that was red. That was the day that X-Maxx 8S came out. That's that one. And then the one after that was this one here, which is the same spec. But I made this one to be a shelf queen. But then I started using it for water crossings. So that's for that. And then I got this X-Maxx because I wanted a stock one so I can compare it to like other cars when I get them to see what's better. And then I ended up modifying this with all the M2C stuff. So this one's a little bit heavier than a stock X-Maxx. It's got a load of the M2C goodies on there, the chassis stiffener. It's got all the M2C motor mounts and braces and all that stuff in there. So this one's a bit heavier. So then I didn't have a stock one anymore. So then I got that one. So I've got a stock one. I'll still do versus videos sometimes, you know, if it's like a versus video worth doing, you know, like XRT versus Creighton is probably a versus video worth doing. But I don't want to get into like doing XRT versus that because it's a different sort of class of car. So you got to kind of keep. Well, you don't have to. You do what you want, but you know, for me, I think when you compare cars on a video, you got to kind of, you know, for me, I want to do similar cars in a similar sort of class. I might do it one day. Who knows? Who knows? When's Sledge coming back out? Hello, dude. whenever I get the spare parts to fix it. I've got most of the parts, but I'm waiting on a new chassis, so it should be here soon. Oh, we've got filings in there. I don't know why we've got filings in there. Well, that pinion looks good, so it's not that. But we do have metal filings in there, look. I don't know where they've come from. Oh, I think they've come from the drive shaft. Because when it's broken in half, I carried on going, it's all making noises. That's probably where it's come from. Right. Right. Get the rest of it off. Have you tried drill diff case for Armour 6S? Yes. I think I've put it on one of my speed cards. It's one of the better ones that I've seen. I mean, I got the hot racing ones, and I was really disappointed with those because when you do the cap up, it crushes the bearings, and you've got to grind the inside out for the new version diff gears to fit if you use limitless version 2 gears. So I wasn't a fan of that. Right, so in here, oh no, that hasn't got to come out actually. Idiot. Right, next, these screws there. Because I haven't done many of these chassis, I kind of forget how they come off. But I don't know, I find X-Maxx is a pleasure to work on. Rarely do you see me get angry when I work on these. You never get a rage quit from me working on these, not often. Look at that. That's like... So that chassis, that broken chassis is in 3 parts. But they're cheap, $20. Right, everything else looks good. We've got to change the diff cover. Our hot racing diff case is good for X-Maxx. What, you mean just to cover? Because if you mean the whole thing, then I would assume it would be all of this. I think Vitavon make like the whole thing. But I've kept away from that because you know, to me, that's what makes X-Maxx so good, is that it's flexible and plastic. If you start taking flex away, you're going to make it heavier and start adding problems elsewhere. And of course, that is just my opinion, it's not fact. That's just what I've found. You know, like for me, the X-Maxx is like the strongest RC I've ever had. But then some people, they've had the Creighton stronger. So everyone's a bit different. So I'll just talk from my own experience. Will you ever visit India? I don't know, but I've got no plan on, dude. I mean, I want to visit America so I can do all the Monster Jam and all that stuff. Ken, you should make your own RC company. Oh, yeah, maybe. I mean, there's so much work involved in it. It'd probably be easier and more money to be made just making ball shavers. 4S V2 video, yeah, soon. I've got them both there, look, got the Outcast 4S and the Creighton 4S. So there will be a video on that soon. I was almost going to unbox them, but then I thought, no, I fancy doing a live, so I've done the X-Maxx. Right, so next, I think I'll change the diff cover first because it's easier to do while there's less of it. I'll go off, that'll make it easier as well. Is UDR worth it? Depends on the individual. I mean, some people say, no, UDR sucks. Mojave is much better. It depends what you want to do with it. I love my UDR. One of my favourite RC cars. I actually prefer the UDR over the Mojave. Not for durability, but just for realism. Oh, broken part there. Change that then. broken back bumper. What's the worst RC car you've ever reviewed? Can you guys guess? I'm going to let you guys guess in the comments. What is the worst RC car that I've ever reviewed? I wouldn't really call my videos reviews, really. More of like an overview, I guess. I don't go too much in detail when it comes to reviewing them. I normally just open the box, show you what's in there, and give you a quick sort of overview, and then a bash. If I say mammoth. I think you're right. It's got to be the worst, isn't it? Right, I've got to put these screws in the right order here because I've actually put longer screws in this X-Maxx. I found longer screws in there hold it together a little bit better. So I've actually drilled out a lot of these and made the screw holes go deeper in. And look how long that screw is. That's like double the length of a stock one. And I've also drilled through the bottom and put longer screws in. So you see there, look? Really holds that skid plate on better. I should have done that on that front one. I might still do it actually. Oh, that bulkhead's broken as well. Not the bulkhead, but the diff cap. Right, so we've got to change the diff cover on the front as well. You can get alloy ones, but I found by having the alloy ones, then you sort of add more weight and you less flex, and then you can smash the bulkhead up. So these are cheap anyway. The stock covers, they're like nothing. They're like £3 or £4, $3 or $4. Razzie in the house. How you doing, dude? Hey, Craig in the house. How you doing, mate? Kimberly in the house. How you doing, Kimberly? That's up to the ball shavers. Yeah, I was chatting to Raz about having like my own RC brand, but it's a lot of work for like a relatively small market. I think if you made a ball shaver, it'd be a lot less parts, a lot less development, and a lot more potential customers. Someone goes, how many RC cars have you had all together? I've got over 100, but I don't know the exact amount. Because it's difficult to count them, because what do you class as an RC car? Is a little toy grade one, does that count? What about ones that are like in bits and are just a parts car now, do they count? What about ones that are maybe a parts car or maybe get repaired? What about ones that have got just a rolling chassis? So it's hard to get an exact number. Right, it's over 100. Oh man, this doesn't want to come off. There we go, there we go. Craig goes, when's your drink brand starting? Right, that out. The only reason I'm taking these out is I've put longer screws in. And they screw into the bottom of this as I drill this out. Right, now we can get this cover back on there. Boom. Get all these screws back in. Get a Supra. No, I don't. I'm not a fan of Japanese cars. Nothing against them, but they just don't do it for me. Yes, Alex, I've got my MST. You should get FTX Canyon. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm a bit beyond the hobby on like the cheapos, but I will occasionally do one for a video. I personally prefer more the high performance RCs myself. You know, it's just like getting used to a Porsche and then go back to a Fiesta sort of thing. Right, so next I've got to drill out this 3mm drill bit, probably something like that. And now I can get longer screws in there. Probably going to do that on the front in a minute, because I've just noticed at the front end the diff cup's broken. Diff cover. Do you know any RC car website that ships to India? No, I mean, I don't know. I don't live there, dude. I wouldn't know. I mean, that's the research you'll have to do, but try A-Main. If not A-Main, then don't know. Do some research, dude. I mean, if I lived there, then I'd know, but I don't live there. So, you know, there's God knows how many hundreds of countries in the world. You can't know what countries everyone ships to, can you? Right, that is that back on. So there you go, look, it's slightly poking out of that bulkhead. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but it just makes the skid plate a little bit more tighter on there. Right, so now I've got to cut a drive shaft. Someone goes, a shame we don't have a hobby shop in town anymore. Yeah, support your local shop, guys. It is a shame when they go. Quite lucky here, got a couple. Got SC models. And you've got Redfin models. They're both quite local to me. Alright, that back on there. If it goes on. Yep. Yep. And then we need a new back bumper. Alright, hold on. Got to find the bumper. I must have one somewhere. That's the front one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the front one. Yep. Might have to go upstairs again. My parts department is upstairs. I've got a few parts downstairs as well. Oh, is that it? Yes. Boom. What makes ESCs catch fire? Normally if you overpower them. Sometimes if one of the motor wires come out, that can make them go up. Especially when they're on full power and the motor wire suddenly comes out on full. Ask Razzie. Razzie knows. Razzie's more of an expert of knowing why ESCs catch fire. He's more technical like that. I mean, if you give it too much power, that's what I would say. Gear it up too much and it will get too hot. Just bought an XLX2, says Todd. I said to myself, I'm never going to run an XLX2 again. I've just ordered 4. So if you guys want to have a guess what those 4 ESCs are going to be for, it's going to be a bit secret though until the project is finished. Any upgrade on Lambo? No, it's all stock. I wouldn't mind turbo in it at some point though. Or super, I don't know yet. Or just leave it, I don't know. Alice goes, you fancy coming drifting? Yeah, I'll probably give it a go. I can't see myself getting into it. It's not really my sort of thing, but I'll give it a go. Oh. How many X-Maxx chassis have you broken now? 3, I think. Pretty sure it's 3 of them. $5 million subs, Lambo to the moon. No, I said if we get to 2 million last year, I said I'll send it to the moon. It never happened, so nope. You missed out on that one. Alright, that is the rear end back together. Crawler cases, you've got them onto truck, they need a full size rock bouncer. Yes, I agree. I will get one. I will get one, but priorities first. Like somewhere to keep all this stuff. Right, so next, we could just go ahead and put a stock drive shaft in there. But I want to put this system back in here. So that bearing needs walloping back into there. Right. So next, I can't remember if this was the front or the back. I can't remember which way around that goes in. Let's have a look. So, right, that way. That must have been that way. Alright, so that goes in that way, I believe. And then, what end was that? I think this one was that end, people. Do you recommend X-Maxx? Max, someone says. Yes! I prefer X-Maxx personally. But if you haven't got the space for an X-Maxx, Mini-Max is the same, just smaller. Right, so now I need to get another shaft. I'm going to cut one down, I think, rather than to kill a new one. So you can probably just cut. Need to find one that's fairly straight-ish on one end. Yeah, like that one's straight that end. Yeah, that one's straight that end. This one's had it. I've got a spare one of these things because I lost the other one, and then that goes in there like that, and then I've got to measure where to cut it. Right, we need a little bit of wiggle room. Need a bit of wiggle room for when the chassis flexes, so I'm gonna, yeah, about there. If I cut too much off, then I've got some other ones to go again. It's hard to measure it exactly until it's all back together again. So we cut this, and then from there we're going to see if that was good or not. Right, come with me next door. Got my rice there. Chop it off there. Boom! Soon, guys, that monster's going to be sitting on the big wheels. Hopefully, it's going to fit in this workshop. Oh, we've got a durability test video coming out with that as well soon. Right, so hopefully you should have. Oh, this is a bit bent already. Have I got the right end here? Come on. I think I need to cut a little bit more off. What do you reckon? So on the front shaft, we've got that much gap. And on this one, we've only got that much. Because the trouble is, what happens when the chassis flexes, that's going to punch this little centre piece out of that bearing again. I think if we just slice off a tad more, something like that. Yeah, I reckon we do it like that. Right, hold on guys, I'll be back in a sec. I'm not going to bother taking the camera over again, so I'm just doing the same again what I've just done. Right, 1 minute, I'll be back. Alright, we're back. We're back. Sorry guys, there's a great view you had there of the bench. Look at that. There's my Savage collection. So we got the XL Nitro. I had him out yesterday. There's going to be a video on that soon. That ran really good. I've had so much fun with that. That is the most fun I've had with an RC car in a long time. So here's a stock Savage XL that I got from eBay. That just turned up today. Here's the Savage Octane. And then over here I've got more Savages, look. I'm a bit of a Savage fanboy. I've got the new Savage X, so I've got to take the gearbox apart on that and try and get it to shift gear. And then I've got my first, well not my first, my older, original XL. But I think before that I had another XL, and then before that I had a normal X, I think. And I think I had a 3.5 as well, back in the day. So yeah, I'm a bit of a Savage fanboy. Not a HPI fanboy, a Savage fanboy. I'm never a fanboy of brands. See, like I'm an X-Maxx fanboy, but I'm not a Traxxas fanboy, if that makes sense. You know, to me, I look at each product as an individual, and then I make my mind up on that product, not on the brand. So with the X-Maxx, for example, I don't care what brand it is. You know, this could be Fisher Price, and it would still be my favourite RC car. Right, there we go. Maybe I've cut a tiny bit too much off, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right. Next, new cover. Can you get the new Primal Grave Digger? Yes! I've got one on order. Are you a XRT fanboy yet? I still prefer the X-Maxx. I like the XRT, but I wouldn't say I'm a fanboy. I am an X-Maxx fanboy. X-Maxx fanboy I am. Right, another trick I'll do here, even though I don't know if I need to or not. I'll put longer screws into the middle of this plate, because I have before in the past ripped one of these posts out of the chassis. So longer screw should make it stronger. So I can't remember if I've got to drill it or not. So with that one there, oh no, that'll go straight in. But we do need to cut a little bit out of there to make way for the bearing. See that one there's got a notch out of it. So to do that, I'm probably gonna, I don't know if that's gonna work. If I put a bit of silver marker on there, then quick before it dries, get that one there and hit it. Yes, it's marked it. Oh no! Idiot! Right, and now, can you get Traxxas Bandit? Maybe one day. Are you going to get TRX4M? Probably. You've broken X-Maxx in half again, yes. I need to get a nitro, Kev. Yes, Alex, you do need a nitro. Yesterday, I had so much fun playing with that Nitro Savage. I've had more fun with that than I've had in a long while. Really enjoyed it. I mean, Nitro is one of them things. If it's going well, loads and loads of fun. But, you know, they can become problematic, especially if you're like me and you don't know what you're doing. And then they suddenly go from being loads of fun to just being annoying. And you're like, oh, I wish I should have got electric. You know, sometimes you've got that friend there that he's got his electric, he's got his nitro card, he's messing about trying to start it. And then you just turn up with your electric car, just turn up, run a pack through it, and he's still trying to start it. So, you know, if you're like that, and there's constant problems, of course you're not going to enjoy it. But if you know how to set them up, or in my case, you know someone that knows how to set them up, then great fun. Alright. Boom! I mean, I could put that on last, that cover, but I like to put it on now, because then when you turn it over, it keeps it together a bit better. AJ goes, how's it going? Late to the show. Better late than never. Doing good, dude. Hope you're doing good. Do a survey on the best basher. Everyone's got different opinions, haven't they, on that? What do you guys reckon? What do you guys reckon is the best basher? Creighton 8S. I know a lot of people say Creighton 8S, but not in my experience. In my experience, it's been one of the worst. I'm not saying that it is the worst, just in my experience. Alex goes, what nitro should I get? HBI Traxxas or the Revo? I prefer the Savage. The Revo is nice, but they're really complicated. And I think the Savages are more durable. I mean, if you're not going to bash it too hard, then the Traxxas will probably be a nicer product. But if you want to bash it, I'll say the Savage. And you know, I'm a Savage fanboy, so I'm going to say Savage anyway. Someone says about the rival MT10. Yeah, epic RC that is. Epic RC. Alright. Coming back together again, isn't it, eh? Getting it back together, boys and girls. Just out of curiosity, are there actually any girls in the stream? I'm going to guess and say no. You're all boys or men. Any girls in the stream? Give us a little wavy emoji if you're a girl. I don't think there's going to be any. It says in my analytics that I've got 20% females watching, but I don't believe it. I reckon that's mum's accounts and the kids are watching. No, no girls in the stream. Do you like Italy? Someone says. I've never been to Italy. So there you go, my suspicions were correct. The 20% of female viewers are probably mums. Oh yeah, and Todd using the wife's account. Yeah. Right, next. Yeah, that's all working. We'll get the motor back in. Or the motor for you Americans. I used to call it a motor. Because in the UK, especially around London way, we do drop the T's and call it like a motor. A lot of people had me up on it, go, no, it's not a motor, it's a motor. Well, no, it's not a motor, it's a motor. And Claire says, no, it's a motor, actually. So, okay, whatever. We all saying it wrong. Oh, pardon me, how rude was that? What happened to the armour Centon? Nothing, still got it. But we've got a video coming out soon of the boost cars. So we've got Centon, Vortex and Granite. And they're all going to be in the same video. And we're going to take them out first. Use them as they are. And then upgrade them with brushless and the four-wheel drive package. Sledge is epic except slow steering. I agree. The steering servo in mine was awful. And that was the first thing I changed. Kev, how do you find the Armour Fire Team? Absolutely love it. I wasn't a fan of the body. I'm not a fan of the toy guns. And people say, are you anti-guns? No, I'm not anti-guns. In the same way that I'm not anti-hammer. But to me, a gun is a tool. And nothing to get excited over, the same as a hammer. You don't get excited over a hammer, it's just a tool. But it's each your own, you know, people have different hobbies. Some people love guns, they love their gun hobbies. And, you know, that's cool. But to me, they don't really interest me. I mean, if I lived in America, and I lived out in the middle of nowhere, I'd definitely have guns to defend myself. But as a tool, not as a hobby. Even though it would be a laugh just to sort of fire at stuff and blow it up. And if you could just sort of if you could just open fire on like an old car and blow it up, that would definitely be fun. But just firing at targets and stuff, like, to me, doesn't really interest me, really. Clarkson gets excited by hammers. Yes, Toby. Lee says, good day from Sydney, Australia. Good day. What's the difference between brushed and brushless? I'm newish to electric, says BB Sniper. Good question. So, as the name suggests, a brushed motor's got brushes and a brushless motor hasn't. And the good thing with that is, I mean, that's obvious, stated obvious, but the good thing is with no brushes, there's less resistance inside the motor, so the motor's going to be faster. And there's no wear and tear from the brushes rubbing on the, whatever it's called, the commutator, is it? So you get more power, you get more reliability, you get more run time. It's just everything about brushless is better, basically. I can't think of anything better on a brush, apart from they don't mind getting wet as much. So yeah, loads more power. I mean, when you go to power, if you go up the power levels, you've got, first you got brushed to the slowest, then you got nitro and petrol or the gas, and then the fastest are the brushless. Hello from Utah, says Gary. Hello, dude. Brushed is cheaper, says Aiden. Yes. However, if you want to cheap out and go brushless, you can still get like a Banggood brushless and go cheap. Right. What do I do next? Do I put the cover back on the middle? Or do we mess about with the ESC? I reckon we should mess with the ESC first and plug all the electrics back in, because it's easier to work on it while it's like this. Right, so this ESC, look, this pot's gone. How are we doing for time? Nah, got loads of time. Right, I think we're going to mess with the ESC, try and get this baby to work again, get that cover back on. The ESC that I've got here, I can't remember if it's dead or not. I think it is dead, or it wouldn't be in here. Let's have a look. I do normally keep dead ESC just for parts for something else. Yeah, I think that is dead, otherwise it wouldn't be a part. I don't know. I don't know if it's dead or not. I think, do you reckon we should plug it in first and see if it's actually dead? Let's plug it in first to make sure, because it'd be a shame to get the soldering iron in there and nick one of these pots out of it if there's nothing wrong with it. Alright, let's see. Put that in there, that in there, that in there. And that in channel 2. What Raz told me, which is really clever, and it works for most receivers, you know you never know which way round to plug it in the cable. If you think blackout, black on the outside, blackout. I don't know if I plug the servo in the right way round. Probably. Right, I need to get a LiPo. This could be dodgy because there's no connector on here. Right, back in a sec. Right, so we got battery. I've got a new Dumbo radio because my old one, for some reason, when you turn the radio off, it doesn't run away. It doesn't set the failsafe. So I'm not using that one anymore. So I'm going to have to probably rebind this one anyway. So let's pull him out again so I can get to the bind button. Like that. Oh, I'm going to end up shorting this out, aren't I? Please don't short out. I'm not in the mood for a fire. I'm pretty sure this ESC is dead, but I'm not fully sure. Come on, get in there. Get in. I hope Raz ain't watching, so he'll go nuts if he sees me do this. Right, that's in. Do not short out. Right, that on. Right, the receiver's powered on. Oh! It might actually work. Right, let's bind it and see. It might work. It made the noise. Maybe this ESC is good. Right. Is Dempy the hardest basher on Max? It's a tough one. Max has got more control, so you can hit the jumps a lot harder, whilst Dempy just holds it flat out and hopes for the best. So both in their own way. Right, let's bind him up to my new. Oh, don't move. Right. on. That should bind automatically. It's not doing anything. Why is it not doing anything? I've got the servo in the right way. Oh, what's going on there? Right, well, let's plug in a normal battery pack and just see if the steering works. So we know the radio system works first. So we plug that in there. What's going on here? Why is that not working? Got that the right way around? Maybe that's not giving enough power out. What's going on? Right. I want to make sure the radio system works first before I start messing about with the ESC, because there's no way of telling if the ESC is good or not if we don't even know if the radio is working. Right, so that's in there. Why is that not working? Servo can't be dead, can it? Try a different servo. Oh! Well, it made a twitch and then stopped. What's going on with that? That's weird. Right, I'm probably going to have to do this off camera because you guys are going to get bored otherwise. Let's try rebinding it again. Let's leave the radio on this time, see if I can't remember which way around you bind it. Come on, bind, right. Right, that's working in that one. Right, that works. So, does that one work in there? Ah, right. We didn't have it bound properly. Right, good. Right, so now we know we've got a battery plugged into the receiver. We know that the radio works. And if we plug this one into the throttle port and do the throttle, steering still works. We know that both ports work on the receiver. So then we get rid of this battery pack and we plug the receiver back in. So we could actually go in there and turn up the Beck voltage. That's a lot slower. Right, power. Oh, it works! Right, so that ESC is good. So I still want to keep hold of this one because I know this one's good. It just needs a new pot. So if any of my buddies on the stream, next time we go out bashing, if you've got a dead ESC, can I have it for the pot? Right. Good. Good. So now, this fan's just had it, so that's just dead. Someone did give me some heavy duty fans. I don't know where they are. I don't know if I just leave this off for now. Is there any point having a fan on there that doesn't work? Probably not. Right, we'll leave that off for now. I've got to solder some new connectors on there. Pickup truck body for X-Maxx. What do you mean, dude? Will you crash him again after you repair it? Yeah, probably eventually it'll get crashed again, won't it? I'll get all this stuff off of here. Kev, please take out /4x4. Yes! Yes, I've got a video planned for those. I've got 2 of them, so I want to get them both out. Is Maverick Strada a good starter RC? Don't know. I mean, if you want to get a starter RC, I'd go for the Associated MT10. Oh, this is all on there. I think I'm going to end the stream in a minute, guys, and do this in my own time. So I've got to faff about now. I've got to solder this on. I've got to pick all this stuff off. I've got to mount all that back in there. I mean, we're pretty much back together again. I mean, I'll do the back diff cup off stream as well. Alright, yeah, sod it. I'll have a little waffle with you guys for a bit, and then I'll finish it off in my own time, probably tomorrow morning. I'm not going to bother filming all that. You got the gist of it. It's all back together again. I've got to change the diff cover on the back. I've got to screw this bit back on, and we're done. Dynamic goes, seriously, wouldn't mind watching. Yeah, but it kind of puts me under pressure that I've got to do it half quickly when I know you guys are watching. If I can do it in my own time, I'm going to take my time and do it. If I know you lot are watching, I'm rushing, and I'm going to not do a good job of it. So I'd rather do it on my own time. That bit actually, dude. So that bit back on there, and then we're good. We're pretty much done. You know, all I'm going to do, dude. I've got to screw this back on, which is like 2 screws underneath, 4 underneath, 4 other end, connector on there, plug it all in, done. It's going to probably take me 2 hours of messing around just to do that. There's just no point doing it live at all. Yeah, I'll do it in my own time, dude, that one. I'm trying to get some new comments here, because a lot of the same comments keep coming in over and over. Can we see monster truck? When I've got the big wheels on, I'll show you again. I'm going to put the big wheels on it soon. They should come back this week. Hey, you got Tony in the house. How you doing, Tony? Tony Swamp Thing. If you want to see a monster truck, go on Tony's channel, Swamp Thing 4x4. He's got loads of monster truck videos on there. When are you and Tommy going to race? Soon. Soon, if he comes down. We have chosen a date, so soon. This video will probably be out in about a couple of months, probably. So a couple of months soonish. When is the full vid of the Lossy Runaway? Tomorrow, maybe. I've just got to make a thumbnail. What servo are you running on the X-Maxx? This one's got an AGF in it. RC toilet, yes. You guys all want to see an RC toilet, so we will have to build an RC toilet. Have you ever been in a fight? Once at a nightclub and once at school. That was a few years ago, though. What is the best gearing for Hoss? I don't know. Mine's stock. Tomley's taking it seriously. I think Tomley really wants to win. He makes out he doesn't really want to win, but I think he does really want to win. When you're working on a nitro crawler, oh, I don't know, dude. That was before lockdown when I last worked on that. I keep saying soon, but who knows? I should really get on it. Now the winter's coming, probably should get on it. So maybe I'll get on it soon. Swamp Thing Tony says RC toilet sounds like a crap idea. Tony, imagine taking the RC toilet to a skate park and just airing it out, and then when it lands, it'd be like, it'd be brilliant. Alan says, do you enjoy what you do? I love it, dude. I get to do my hobby and it's my job, so I love it. Yeah, I can kind of choose what I want to do. See, like now I've done enough wrenching, I can't be bothered anymore, so I can just leave it now. I can have a little chat with you guys and I can do it in my own time, and if I really can't be bothered, I can just put it to the side and get the next thing out. So yeah, I love my job. I really feel blessed. Sometimes I've got to just have a little think back to how it used to be when I had my crappy 9 to 5 job that I hated, and how good it is now, just having toys and just getting paid to play with toys. Do you still do eBay? Yeah, I still do a little bit of eBay. Not as much as I used to though. My main focus is now on YouTube. X-Maxx or Max, both of them, just depends on what size you like. I prefer the bigger one, so X-Maxx for me. Who bashes the hardest? Probably Stempon Max. Or Martin. Martin's pretty hard. Where do you get rash shifting servos from? Amazon. Just put in perfect pass servo. What did you do when you had your bad job? My first job, I was working in a tool making company. I was on a lathe. Most boring job ever. I used to stand there for hours and hours and hours just turning down these same things all day long. It's one of those lathes, like a collet lathe they call it. On a normal lathe, you got like a chuck, where you do the chuck up. This had a collet thing on it, so you just like put your bit in what you want to lathe, donk, that locks it in, and you've got like out, next one in, you stand there all day, like thousands and thousands and thousands. All you're doing is just parting them off, and then, oh God, so absolutely soul destroyed. I hated it. It was like the worst job I've ever had. It was so bad. After that, I worked in a junk shop. That was pretty crap. After that, I had my first welding job. It was all right for a job, I suppose, but I'm not really made for jobs. After that, I had another welding job. And after that, another welding job. And then after that, I was driving lorries, or trucks, or semis, you Americans call them. And now I just work for myself, eBay and YouTube. You work as a mechanic? No, Leo, never been a mechanic. I've done mechanics on my own cars, I've built minis and worked on Cozzies and stuff like that, and Land Rovers. I've rebuilt cars, I've restored cars, I've fixed my own cars. So, I've been a hobby mechanic, but I've never been a mechanic as a job. Jordan says, what's under a ponytail? Ask them what's under there. Any tips for RC YouTube channel? Make videos that people want to see, basically. Make the thumbnail clickable, and then make your videos so that people sit around for and watch as much of it as possible. And have fun doing it's the main thing. If you don't enjoy doing it, you'll fail, because it takes years and years and years before you make any money on YouTube, and most people never make any money on it at all. So you've got to love it. If you don't love it, you'll do a few videos and you'll give up. So you've got to really enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, don't even bother starting. If you're doing it just for the money, there's other things that make a lot more money, like eBay, for example. For most people, you're going to make loads more doing eBay. I mean, even like me, for example, it took me like, once I started doing eBay seriously, about 3 or 4 months before I started making good money, sort of job quitting money. Whilst on YouTube, It's probably about 3, 4, 5 years before I was making sort of job quitting money. But most people, they don't ever make anywhere near job quitting money on YouTube. It's just a bit of pocket money, if anything. How long it took you to be successful on YouTube? I still wouldn't class myself as that successful now, really, you know. But it depends what your goal is. So, but to make job quitting money on YouTube, I can't remember exactly. Probably 4 years, probably. Do you remember your first hater on YouTube? No, there's so many of them. Will you race Tomley at a new location? No, Tomley's coming to our club. The one that we normally race at. Mr. Beast is too much for me. Well, he is one of the best YouTubers out there. I know he's not to everyone's taste, but, you know, they say the customer's always right, but as a group, not as an individual. 4 years, that's perseverance. I respect that. Yeah, I mean, because I enjoyed it so much, it wasn't hard. You know, if it was 4 years of not enjoying it, I don't think I would have done it. No, Tony, you haven't found a sticker yet. No, the only reason I can stick with YouTube so long is because I love doing it. I enjoy the editing, I enjoy the filming, I love doing the live chatting with you guys, I love all of it. I love everything about YouTube. It's just getting paid to do a hobby. But if you don't enjoy it, I wouldn't even bother. If you're just doing it for the money, there's so many things you can do that are going to make you so much more money than YouTube. So you got to enjoy it, and then if money comes, it's a bonus. But you know, for most, it doesn't come. I see so many people they're doing YouTube because they think they're going to make loads of money. They do it for like a couple of years and realise that you don't make that much, and then they give up. If you look at Mr. Beast, you know, he probably makes millions every month, but it took him 8 years to make any sort of money out of it. Really, for 8 years, people told him, "Oh, you're wasting your time." But for Mr. Beast, he was passionate about it. He loved it. He enjoyed doing it. I mean, I reckon if Mr. Beast made no money, he'd still be making videos now. He just loves doing it, and that's why he's the best. You got to love doing it. If you don't love doing it, you're done. So, you know, anyone that wants to do a YouTube channel, definitely give it a go. Give it a go. Give it your best shot. If you enjoy it, carry on. If you don't enjoy it, then it's not going to succeed. You know, I get some people that say, "Oh, I hate editing." Well, you're going to have to employ someone else to do it then. That's all I can say. You have to get someone else to do it for you if you don't like editing. That's all I can say. I mean, I can't see anyone persevering, sitting there for 3 or 4 years or longer, editing their own videos and hating doing it. Because to edit a good video, you're going to sit there for probably 8 hours. You know, to make a good video, I'd say at least minimum 8 hours to edit a video. Minimum. And if you hate editing and you're going to sit there for 8 hours hating it, I can't see how you're going to do it. I mean, if I hated editing, no way could I do YouTube. No way. I mean, my brother does a lot of my videos now, but that's not because I don't like editing. It's because it gives me more time to make more videos and do other stuff. So I'll still edit a lot of my videos, probably 50-50. How do you make your thumbnails? I make my thumbnails on Photoshop. Best chassis upgrade for Creighton 6S. Scorched or M2C. I think the Scorched is a little bit stronger, but the M2C is a little bit lighter. So it depends what you're going for. Drift says he loves my brother's videos too. He's a funny guy. Yeah, my brother, he's got his own YouTube channel. The Nomadic Crowbot. They do narrowboat videos. What tyre is best for X-Maxx? I like the stock. Are you still doing Shugu? I haven't done it for a while. The trouble is, you know, time's money. So if I sit here for 3 hours, Shugu in a body shell, it's not time well spent. I'd be better off just making another video, and then that video would make loads more money than what you save on a body shell. So if it's a body shell that's quite special or really expensive, I'll do it. But on these average shells, I don't tend to do it anymore, just because it takes so long. Sledge or XRT, someone says. I would go for the XRT personally. Someone goes, EXP excessively broken. The EXPs are pretty good. How do you start a YouTube channel? Well, go onto YouTube, open an account, and then top right hand side it says there's a little plus or a create button or something. Go on there and upload your video. And that's it. Boom. That's your first video. Raymond says he's got an eBay course. Thank you. Nice one, dude. How's it going for you? You doing well with it? Project 100 mile an hour laminator. Oh man, you'd have to change everything. Maybe one day, but I mean, monster trucks are for going over things and crushing things. I haven't really got personally much interest in making them go silly fast. Yeah, never say never. Maybe one day. Do you like XRT more than X-Maxx? Now I prefer the X-Maxx personally. It's not better, it's just different. It's more clumsy, it's more stuntable. So I'll just prefer the X-Maxx. Everybody liked the stream, says Wet Beast Nips. Yeah, give us a thumbs up, everyone. Give us a thumbs up. We got 621 people in the stream and we have 531 thumbs up. If all of you guys thumbs up, then we should be able to get it to 621. So yeah, give us a thumbs up in the comments, guys. It helps the old algorithm. It gets me more views. That's all good. A lot of people always say, oh, how can we give back to you? We want to donate. Well, I don't want your money. Just give us a thumbs up. That'll push the video more. And happy days. Have you used your USA 1 car show recently? No. I haven't for a while. I need to get it out again at some point. I am really enjoying my nitros at the moment. Hey, Swampy's giving us a thumbs up. There we go, 636 thumbs up. We've got more thumbs up than viewers. How's that? Next infraction video. Soon, actually. I'm working on one at the minute. Just got to take it out and give it a blast. Drift says he's considered the course. The free one's giving him loads of tips. Do you think we'll benefit from the paid course? Yes, you definitely will. With us only dealing with RC. Yes, Mr. Drift. That was the idea of the mini course, because a lot of people were like, oh, I want to do the course, but I don't know if it's going to help me. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy eBay. So I've done a little mini eBay course. There's a link to that down below, actually, and the full eBay course. Both of it's down below. If you're not sure, just do the free one. And then if you can make some money out of that, then get the paid for one, if you want. And if you get the paid for one and you don't like it, you get your money back anyway. You've got 31 days to hit me up and say you want a refund, and no questions asked, you'll get your money back. So, yeah, it definitely helps people. I buy courses. I mean, I buy a lot of Ty Lopez's courses, actually. And I've got some good tips out of it. And, you know, if you buy like a $400 course and you get one little nugget of information out of it, and that one little nugget makes you loads more money, it makes the whole course worth it. And, you know, out of the Ty Lopez courses, for example, I mean, he hasn't got any eBay courses, but he's just got general sort of mindset courses and stuff like that. So they're the main ones that I go for with that. And, you know, there's so many little nuggets that you get, and then you just earn so much more money. You know, one little nugget could make you millions, potentially. So, you know, a lot of people say best investment is in yourself. And I agree with that. You know, I like to talk to rich people, to millionaires. You know, I go out there and I talk to other business owners and stuff, and I read books, and I watch YouTube videos from other business people just to learn stuff. So, yeah, definitely investing in yourself is probably the best investment, probably. If you get like a really rich person and you get a really poor person, and you give all the rich person stuff to the poor person, give it a few years, the person that was rich is going to be rich again, and the person that was poor is going to be poor again. So it's what's in your brain. Knowledge is power, says Drift Mania. Yes, definitely. 100% agree. $12S X-Maxx. No need for me, because the Hobby Wing one I got up there, that's an 8S, and that's got way too much power. So making it 12S would just be just too much. I mean, for a funny video, maybe I'll do it one day. Who knows? When is the next electric laminator video? Soon. I've got to fix it. I've just had some more spares turn up for it, so soon. Tomlin says he doesn't think the location is fair. Oh, he doesn't have to come if he doesn't want to. Tomlin just says when are we going to race? So I said, well, we'll come down the club and you can race whenever you want. So if he doesn't think it's fair, then I suppose he hasn't got to come if he doesn't want to. If he wants to come to the club, he's welcome. If he doesn't want to come, he's not welcome. But I'm not really interested in going anywhere else. I'm not even bothered about winning. I don't care if I come last. I mean, it's nice to win, but I do the racing just because I'm more of a basher. But you know, when it's crappy weather, you can go racing Friday night, have a laugh with your friends, have a curry, and you know, I'll just do it more for that. And if you win, it's a bonus. If you don't, then so what? Had a good night anyway. Have you ever had a Nitro T-Max? No. Kev loves fun. Yes, I love fun. Maybe Nitro X-Maxx. Yeah, I was thinking about it. It would be pretty easy, but it's just hooking up the braking system would be a challenge. So maybe, yeah, I mean, obviously it's possible. I wonder if where the ESC sits, you could take that out and put like a disc brake in there or something. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe one day. What is blocking you from your own RC car? Oh, dude, the amount of work that would have to go into designing it and everything. You know, at the moment, I want to focus on my YouTube channel. So, you know, if I put all my effort into making a car, I wouldn't have time to do videos. So, I don't know, maybe one day I'll do it. I mean, I'd love to have my own car one day and make it like the ultimate basher. Just like make it the best. Like just make it in like everything. I'd love to one day, but we'll see. But, you know, I was sort of chatting to Raz about it, and if I put all my effort into making an RC car, it would be a lot less effort to put all your money into making a ball shaver. A lot less effort, a lot less money, and you've got a much bigger market. Why have you stopped posting as frequent? I haven't, dude. I mean, years ago, I used to do daily uploads, but I don't want to burn myself out. I just do it when I fancy it. And I spend more time on the videos now as well. You know, before, I used to just get a car, take it out for a bash. You know, literally, this is how I used to make my videos. I used to go to the shelf, pick a car, go out, bash it, film it, and I could then edit it, not spend much time editing it, and I could get a video out from start to finish in like 5 hours. Whereas now, I go to multiple different locations, sometimes multiple different cars, put so much work into each car. And, you know, some videos take like a few days to make. And some videos on the board have taken like over a year to make, you know, doing a bit here and there. So I could easily do a video a day. I could do 2 videos a day, but they're going to be crap videos. So I'd rather spend my time and make the videos a bit better. That's it, Alex. There's a lot of balls out there. There's a lot more people out there willing to buy a ball shaver than an RC car. So I think if I ever came up with my own product, it would be a product that's more for a bigger audience. When is Fam Jam? I don't know, dude. Probably around about the same time as last year's one, probably, I'm guessing. You owned a HBI Baja. No, I haven't actually, dude. Right, dude, I'm going to call it a day, people. I'm going to mess about with this a little bit more. And maybe I'll do another stream tomorrow. I've got quite a lot of stuff to fix. So I've got that I've got to take the gearbox apart on. So I might live stream it. The thing is with these things, they take ages to work on. And I'm not going to be able to give you guys much attention. It literally just be the camera sat there and you can see me trying to work on it. So I might do it. I don't know. That one, I'm probably going to do that one as a video. I want to upgrade it. I've got double shock conversion to do to it. And I've got to repair it as well. So that's probably going to be a video. I've got to repair this, but I'm waiting on parts. So I can't repair that yet. So that's probably going to be a live stream repair. XRT needs repairing and modifying. So that's probably going to be a video. This needs repairing, but I'm waiting on parts. and they're out of stock. So I think it's going to take a month to get all the parts for this. And that's when the runaway happened. So that'll probably be a live stream. What else? What else is broken? Probably loads of stuff's broken and I've forgotten. That thing's broken, but I'm probably going to leave it. It's like, I know if I fix that and then fart, it's going to break again. So I'm probably going to leave that and not bother fixing it and just leave it sat there. Because that, I would say, is like the best beginner RC car. The associated rival MT10. But the MT8, I would say, is probably the worst. So I might just leave it sitting there like that. Just because it's the worst. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. Thanks, everyone, for giving a thumbs up in the comments. All helps the algorithm, giving the old thumbs up. So any of you guys that haven't given the thumbs up, give us a thumbs up, please. All right, guys. Over and out. See you later.